Hey everyone, it's Pete Carmasino here at Chaikin Analytics, and this is our weekly video. We're going to do a short one today. We're going to do a market overview. Nothing really in focus. There is one stock I will review though today, and it's Tesla. Tesla's actually been breaking out, but we had sort of mixed reviews on it for most of this particular year, or even the past 12 months. But I want to look at what's happening, what's performing in the market, and what isn't. And I think you're going to be a little bit surprised at what happened in the past 6 months. Now, we have a dashboard. We look at sort of a 1 day, a 1 month, 6 month. We even have 3 months in there and even a year, but they're not specifically calendar months or years. They're just the previous 6 months on a rolling basis. So I'll capture most of the first half, but I'll be a little delayed in far as performance. So it's not going to be exact from what you understand the S&P to have been performed in the first half of the year, but it's going to be the previous 6 month period, close enough. So we're going to look at what's going on. I think, again, you'll be surprised there. We got a mixed kind of day here. We got a shortened day. We have a holiday week, and I hope you enjoy it, 4th of July. I hope you have great plans. But before you get to the 4th, let's take a look at what's going on here in the market, and we'll look at that Tesla stock and see what's going on our chart system right now. Okay, just looking at what's going on here in the 1 day performance, you can actually see what I thought was surprising. Silver and copper. Now, these are ETFs. They're obviously commodities. We don't rate them, but we do look at them on a technical basis, just not fundamental. But looking at the performance just today, we can see both copper and silver outperforming even in things like semiconductors, and obviously the Qs and the SPYs are down here around 0.25% as I record anyway. Again, we got a shortened trading day. It's going to close here at 1 o'clock. But looking at what's happening again in these two areas is pretty interesting. And there you see gold kind of creeping up there as well. So for whatever reason, we're starting to see obviously precious metals and industrial metals start to move higher. Again, they are mostly higher from the index standpoint. A lot of things going on. SP up about, again, maybe about 1/3% by now. And just looking at what's happening in the NASDAQ composite, the big index up almost 0.75%. But the Q's kind of sitting in there up about 0.67 as well. So nothing fantastic, but certainly, pretty welcomed here on a shortened trading day, and certainly a interrupted trading week because of the 4th of July. So that's 1 day. Let's look at 1 week. 1 week, you do see silver up there at the top, as well as some other soft commodities like wheat and sugarcane, but there's copper kind of keeping pace with a lot of these things. Oddly enough, seeing banks move higher as well. But there's your semiconductor, and there's oil starting to creep up. That's the one I think you're going to be surprised about. So if I jump to a 6 or a 1 month setup, look at oil up almost 13% just in 1 month. So obviously that's putting pressure on folks maybe during the travel season. We know that because obviously a lot of people are traveling for the holidays and certainly the summer months. But right behind that is, again, the NASDAQ 100 and the semiconductor ETF as well. But just between that and the S&P, you see sugarcane up. So commodities kind of on the rise here. It's interesting to me anyway. Looking at 6 months, nothing's beating the SMH right now. Again, a rolling 6-month period. That's the VanEck semiconductor ETF, symbol SMH, up almost 60%. If you had all your money there, it would have been an awesome trade for 6 months. That's annualizing at around 120% if you're doing the math real quick. It's pretty amazing. And you're looking at silver up around 28% or so. And there's oil. Again, that's being sneaky, and I think sneaking up on a lot of people here. USO is the ETF that kind of represents the oil market. That's up 23% in that rolling 6-month period. Again, looking back 6 months, not exactly the first half of the year. Q's up 21%, and there's copper with, again, S&P during, using the SPY that includes dividends. Total return there about 16% and change. So pretty interesting because it's just been a really hot market in a lot of tech areas, but oddly enough, seeing some commodities kind of creep up. Looking on the downside, oddly, you see natural gas pushing lower at 21% lower in the past 6 months. Again, don't forget we're on the 6-month time frame here. But some soft commodities like soybeans and corn, both coming in, including wheat. And this is sort of a multi-agricultural ETF here, and that's also down about 8%. You see bonds right here represented by TLT, and the banking index down 7% for the year. Don't forget, if I go back 1 week, I could see the banking index rebounding a little bit here in the last week. So mixed bag, a lot of rotation. I think you're getting a broadening out. But before we leave, let's look at Tesla, because we promised to take a look at that particular chart. I'm just going to type it in real quick, show you how the system works. And you can see now, I just want to go over this chart. Now, wow, really moving up almost 6% here, getting close. We're about an hour away from the market closing right now. But looking at the previous 12 months, we were in a downtrend, right? We were kind of bullish on the name. It broke down, and then obviously our rating has changed as well. But since the beginning of the year, we've been either bearish or neutral. And when I say neutral, it's changed today from bearish to neutral negative. And let me tell you what that means. That means it's a bearish stock that's getting price appreciation. And when that happens, our algorithm automatically sort of upgrades it. So it's not so much a bearish name, but it's certainly neutral negative, meaning that we're neutral on the name because of price, but negative on the name because of fundamentals. And that, again, is backward looking, but at the same time, it can be forward looking a lot of the times. But in Tesla, been a tough animal really to capture and really understand. Big downtrend, and all of a sudden followed by a massive move higher from about 180, trading as high as 240 and change. Looks like it's getting up to that resistance area around that 265, 260 area. And maybe that's where it's going to stall. I'm not sure exactly, but that's kind of what Tesla looks like right now. All right, folks, that's all we have for today. Again, have a great holiday weekend. A lot of folks are taking off on Friday as well, but we got the holiday, the July 4th holiday tomorrow. Enjoy it with family and friends. Be safe, and we'll see you here next time on the Chaikin Power Feed video series. Take care.